My big project for this Raspberry Pi camera is to use it for time-lapse photography of my 3D printer. Here's my first attempt using the time-lapse capability built right into the Raspbian operating system. I didn't spend much time with this trying to make it better because I wanted to try something a little more ambitious. I wanted to capture one frame per layer of the 3D print without the nozzle jerking all over the picture. This is my first attempt at doing that. The print is looking pretty ratty, but the video is great. It's doing exactly what I want. Unfortunately, I had black plastic in the printer and I had to use some very harsh lighting to see anything. But now I have a very useful time-lapse camera that can happily run for days on end, which is what 3D printing requires. Well, this turned out to be a pretty bad print, but the time-lapse photography worked well. So I had to use very harsh lighting to get this black print to show up in the video. And it came out pretty bad. But I've just been upgrading all my slicer software and trying to get this time-lapse software working. So it's not set up quite right yet for printing. But this is a feather case. So here I have a feather, and it just slides in, just so you can see what this device was actually supposed to do. So this feather goes in there, and the lid that printed at the same time slides in the top and snaps on. So that's what the case was intended for. And let's turn on some power and see what happens. Oh, this is calibrating the touchscreen, and there we have the weather forecast. So the feather case works well. The print didn't work out that well, but it still fits, and it looks okay. I did print it on a very coarse setting just so I could test that time-lapse photography. I didn't want it to take hours and hours and hours, so I printed on a very coarse setting. And of course these things fit on top of a hockey puck so that they're very stable. There's a little cable management hook arrangement in the back so that if you trip on the wire, it doesn't yank on the connector of the fancy little feather computer. So that's just a quick demonstration of the time-lapse photography and what that print job actually was good for.